Hello, Olivier. Thank you for joining here at this second episode of Automation Shot. It is a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Without any further delay, let's go to our first question, shall we?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. Quite exciting to have a conversation with you. And as you said, let's jump straight into the questions so we can get some action going here.
Exactly. So, first question, Olivier. In your opinion, what are the challenges companies facing with the adoption of technologies like RPA or AI?
Yeah. So thanks for this question. Let me try to structure a little bit the answer here based on my experience, but also based on what the market is saying, right? Because I think it's important. It's been a little while that we are implementing automation solution since probably beginning of RPA about 10 years ago. And now we are starting to do the same with AI, right? And I would say my answer is probably going to be tool agnostic. And let me explain that. I believe that when we are trying to inject technology, no matter the tool, no matter the brand that you are in love with, uh, the challenges are very often the same, right? So if I look at first of all the people, um, it is really important to have uh, the leadership and the people in the organization very well aware of what we are trying to do with technology so that it is perceived as a good news. Fear of automation, of AI, of losing your job is a typical concern that needs to be addressed. This is something that is really important. It is absolutely critical to solve that from the beginning with top-down leadership support, leadership communication. So that's point number one. Point number two is to understand your baseline. So where you are in your organization, what is your environment in terms of tools already existing, technical depth, data availability. So understanding your environment so you make the right choice in terms of, let's say, solutioning, right? So this is also a mistake here that, especially with AI, 50% of the job is happening with the data. So it's happening upstream, right? So that's the second point here that is really important. And the third, which is still happening a lot, is to make sure that there is a business reason for a technical implementation, right? Lack of return on investment, weak business case, are typically unclear outcome, unclear expected impact, are typically also generating a lot of, let's say, disappointment.
Mhm.
About 50% of the AI project today are still having a negative return on investment, 50%. So this is also very, very important that your business case, that you have a business view, a business understanding of the technology project that you are trying to involve. And by the way, if you are an engineer and you're trying to sell a technology project, it is really like as simple as implementing RPA, for example. It is absolutely critical that you are able to articulate to your leadership in business term, in terms of business value, what this project will do for them and to the P&L, right? So the financial impact of what you are doing here.
Yeah. That those I picked of those points that I think that are really important: the people and the business case. Without them, the technology doesn't make any sense on the organization. Cool. For a second question, how do you think that this adoption process can be improved to maximize the results? Basically, is the kind of work that you do with the organizations. How you view this process?
Yeah, so a number of things, right? Statement that I make a lot. Um, it's great to start running really fast. It's better to start running really fast in the right direction, right? So why do I say that? Because very often people are jumping to the cool stuff, and they forget to do the the right preparation, right? So at IAC, what we do a lot is that we help clients understand by assessing their environment, by discovering their environment, by understanding their environment, we help them understand in which direction they have to run, right? So sometimes your gut feeling is telling you that you want to automate or you want to roll out an AI agent in, let's say, finance, in your finance department, or this process here is bugging you. But if you spend a little bit of time looking at, the bigger picture, understanding the data, uh, especially the operational data, which will tell you where, it makes more sense to implement the technology, you will probably be in a situation where you understand why and where you want to deploy technology, right? So this initial phases, some company are very well aware. They have everything under control. They have already done the homework. They have already done the analysis. They have analyzed the data. They have talked to the people. They have assessed the environment. They know exactly what they want.
Mhm.
But many company, they want to do AI and they don't really know where, why, and of course how, right? So on top of the how, the where you want to do AI and why you want to do AI are absolutely critical, right? So those are very important, I would say, enabler to the technology. The other thing that is also very important is to understand that when you are starting this transformation journey, which is not a project, it's a modification of your operating model, which means that there will never be an end. This is very important to understand. In injecting AI inside your organization is not a project that you start today and you finish in 3 months. No, you are modifying the operating model. You are injecting digital workforce next to your human workforce, and the mix is going to be altered forever, which means that the way you are going to run your company in the future is not going to be the same as the way you're running your company today, and therefore there will never be an end. You will never go back. When you start automating, when you start using AI, you don't stop automating or stop using AI. This is something that is changing the nature of your delivery, changing the nature of your model. And this is something that people need to understand as well. So to understand that this will have an impact on how they work, it will have an impact on the organization model, it will have an impact on how the people are trained, how the people are basically evolving in their career. And all of that has to be handled correctly as well. Otherwise, again, you are missing the point. You treat it as a project. I'm dropping that in my environment and I'm done. If you look at it this way, you are probably going to have some issue because obviously, as any human workforce you have in your organization that you need to manage and train, and by the way, you have some attrition, people are leaving, you need to hire. It's the same with your digital workforce. You will need to, support it, maintain it, because sometimes the environment is changing and the workforce might break. You will need to evolve it, upgrade it, sometimes even migrate it to a later technology. And all of that requires some work. So for me, those are the two really critical points that you need to be aware of. And if you do that correctly, you take your time to understand why and where before you start running, and you manage the technology implementation not as a project but as an operating model change, then you have a chance to be very successful with AI and automation.
That last part is critical. Most of the times in my clients, I like to use powerful questions to raise these topics. One question that I did do a lot is, imagine two companies, one that invests strategically in automation and digitalization, and the other one that doesn't. Okay, it is a journey. It's not one-time project, and trying to look to the future and see how these two companies will operate is a powerful way of putting the companies thinking in their future. Very cool. And talking about the future, and since you are in a business for a while, you have been working with lots of clients. In recent of in light of the recent developments, these developments in technology and the shift that we had in technology and solutions, how do you see the future of society, business, and technology? Trying to get a very concise answer on this one, because this could be a long answer for sure.
Yeah, of course. So this is obviously a 1 week topic
Yeah.
for conversation and workshops and whatever, right? But if we try to focus on what's really important here. So first of all, what we see happening that people need to take into account is the speed at which change is happening is accelerating exponentially. The iteration of technology is accelerating exponentially. And this is one thing to take into account when you are young and you try to go into, 50 years ago, you were going to specialize in something, and probably you are going to do that for 20 years. Now, if you do it for 1 year, you are lucky. You can be the king of one technology in 2024, and I can tell you that in 5 years later, that technology will be gone, or it will be totally morphed. So the speed of change is something that human needs to understand. We are not able to stand still in whatever we do. Our knowledge is also evolving much faster than what it used to be 20 years ago. And this is something that basically requires some help, right? So the help of technology, because the knowledge obviously is not only increasing rapidly, but it's changing rapidly. We are moving in a world where we're going to have digital twins, right? Cities have a digital twins. Factories have a digital twin. We will end up having a digital twin or a digital assistant or a digital worker working with us. So think about, ChatGPT, Strawberry, I don't know, to the power 10, right? So something that is really well trained, well knowledge about you, your information, your company's information, the society's information, and is augmenting you, and in a way that you can cope with what's happening around you, right? The environment is more and more complex, more faster and faster. And what we are doing today at a small scale, meaning working with ChatGPT to answer an email, to do a quote, to build a PowerPoint for my kids to do their homework, this is going to become the way of working. And companies will have organization where you will have, a human employees, digital employees, all working together, collaborating. We hear a lot, AI agents. An AI agent is an independent entity that is taking place in, let's say, an organization, taking a role, very specific role. And let's say I am the AI agent that is checking the code to make sure that, I'm a test, agent specialized in testing all the code. That's my role. Therefore, I have a role in the organization as an agent, the same way you have a role in your company as the CEO, or a project manager will have a role. This ecosystem is starting to happen, and we are going to see that, and we are going to have to deal with that. And my point is, the people who are capable to live in this digital twin world and interact with all those AI intelligence, right? We are saying Strawberry now is running at 120 IQ. The prediction is within 5 years, the IQ of AI will probably be more over 1,000, where, when you have 150 as a human, you are like Einstein, right? So my point here is those who will be able to handle that will be superhuman. Those who are not able to handle that will be, normal human. And we're going to have this society that will split into those that are using AI to augment themselves and deliver more and do more, we hear 5x, 10x productivity, with people using AI versus normal people, which is just, regular organic human. This is going to be key. Those are embracing it. We know already, Ray-Ban, I mean, I don't want to, they have those lenses where AI can scan and tell you what they see. This is the kind of augmented human that we have to embrace. And if you do that, you will thrive. Your career will be crazy. If you reject that, you're going to be left over. You're going to be the non-augmented human.
Yeah, very cool, very concise answer to it. Thank you, Olivier. It was an absolute pleasure to have you here. I know that for this answers we will have probably much more time to talk about, but thank you for your answers. Are very enlightening of these topics. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me. And for the audience here, anyone who has a question, feel free to comment, ask question, tag me. I will take the time to answer those questions. Thank you.
Thank you.